No problem. Okay, so now let me just come back in the previous sessions what we have discussed indeed. So I think today we will try to understand. So this is what we have seen in the last session. Like a purchase order would be created against an inbound delivery, and that inbound delivery will be creating an EWM inbound delivery in the system. But we do not have a notification because this is not an embedded landscape. This is not a decentralized. This is an embedded one. So this duplication of the deliveries is not required. Now, okay, so however, what we are trying to understand here is we were trying to understand the put away of the tasks, means where exactly we are trying, and this is what we also discussed in the last session, like what the stock types, if you can remember that, receive on dock and the available for the sale. Okay, so we will have the stock type of an F1 and we will have the available of for the sale which is of an F2. Means your EWM stock types will be assigned to your ERP storage locations, and those are nothing but your availability groups in the EWM system. That is what we have discussed in the last session. Okay, however, now, as I also said that we need to understand few things, like what once we have received the product inside your staging areas or inside your dock door, now the system has to automatically determine your storage types. Means it needs to, because in some business cases you might manually perform the put away, or in most of the business cases like 99%, it's the system would be proposing to which destination it needs to be placed. Ideally, what I'm trying to say is we are now in the last session, we have seen that we have received the products here and we have placed the goods in the staging area. Once the goods are been placed in the staging area, from this particular place, we also need to move it to this one of the respective storage types. Means to any of the high rack storage types or any of the other bins which we would like to propose it. Now, as we also configured, I mean, like we have configured a storage type of an high rack anyhow, and that particular high rack, how the system is going to determine based on the product attributes. That is what we will try to understand it. Now, as I said that the storage type determination always how it is going to happen. Now let's try to make now in the system. Okay, so if you can remember that. So I'm just trying to use my one of the internal system only because we have continued our last session in this particular one. Now, if I'm not wrong, we have used, this is the ASN which we have used. Okay, now this is the storage, I mean like the warehouse product which we have created, and everything we have created of 1,000 eaches. Now this particular 1,000 eaches, whatever we have received it now, okay, we understood that the system is trying to have the goods movement bin of this particular ZR zone, I mean like which is nothing but your staging area. Okay, and however this particular thing, we do have few certain activities needs to be performed. Now what kind of an activities we will be performing it once we receive your products in, I mean like once a delivery has been created in the EWM system. Okay, however, what we try to do, as being it is an inbound process, we will definitely try to perform the put away, means inside the warehouse, right? Now how do my, I'm sorry, oh, what's wrong? So now how do I know that, I mean like a warehouse operators physically, like what we are trying to understand here is like we do have maybe a 10 or 20 warehouse workers working in the shop floor, and how do they know that this particular products should be executed and it needs to move to certain high rack, okay, or it has to go to some kind of a storage types, okay, depending on the product attributes. That is something where we need to have some kind of an activity to be performed. These are the physical activities. So what does that mean? We will be having something called as a warehouse tasks, okay, and we will have something called as a warehouse orders. Means what does this mean? In our traditional warehouse management systems, these are the things that we always call it as your transfer requirement. This is nothing but your warehouse tasks in EWM are nothing but your transfer requirement, and warehouse orders are nothing but your transfer orders, guys. Okay, so these are the things, the same terminology, but in the EWM system, we are calling it as a warehouse tasks and warehouse orders. Means what does this warehouse tasks and warehouse orders represents here? Now, in our particular system, for example, okay, let me just here, if I try to create it, obviously, yeah, system could not determine the destination data. Means what it is trying to do here means the system, because we are trying to have some kind of an automation in the system, that's the reason it is not able to pick it up. So however, let's try to configure that. Means here, if you see this, I'm not saving it at this moment. Inbound delivery, follow on functions, click on the warehouse task. Means this is the first activity that we would be performing. Means what we are trying to make the system to understand, and even the warehouse shop floor people, that we are creating some kind of a request here telling that, okay, I have received some X products in my warehouse, and these products needs to be placed in a certain storage type. That is what this warehouse request is nothing but. Okay, so we are creating a request here telling that, okay, from my particular staging area, I mean to say that, I mean, like, where is this diagram? 1 second. Yeah, means we are creating a request in such a way that from this particular staging area, whatever we are seeing it, the product needs to be moved from this staging area to any of the storage types that it was predefined.